side there. And that's kind of low power at the moment. And that's where we've been running. And then you'll see actually some video infrared. That laser is infrared laser, 1064 nanometers. It's a NDEA laser, solid state. And you'll see some of the tables and stuff where the laser is located. And then a lot of green lights, hopefully showing, and some traces showing that everything's hopefully working okay. Up on, well, actually on your left, over there are some monitoring systems. You see some, again, picture of the mirrors, all in infrared, it's an infrared laser. But then on the upper left corner is how far away you can see in time versus the last 24 hours in distance in megaparsecs to binary neutron star mergers. So the best detector up there, I think, is Louisiana, 130, just under 140 megaparsecs. A parsec is 3.26 light years, so we're working to get up to 100 here, and then Virgo is the bottom trace. And the date on there looks like the 27th. But that's probably a day ago. Anyway, so that's probably the data up from the last 24 hours. I'll come back to the front plots in a second, but as you're facing back towards the back, you'll see pictures. First of all, where the laser pointer is pointing up here is just the schematic of the vacuum chambers and the different mirrors in them. Here's the laser table. There's lots of mirrors in there. Finally, over here, though, you see one of the pendulum arrays. I'm not sure if that's a quad or not. And then above that, those pendulums hang down from these in-vacuum seismic isolation systems up the top of the vacuum chambers. And over here, you just see a camera, bird's eye view looking down at the vacuum systems. So there's a lot of stuff in the vacuum systems. There's many things to explain about that if we had time, but all that has to happen to get the noise down. As Mike was explained before, there's this curve you see in the front center plot showing the noise. We're not locked right now, so everything you're seeing is a trace from a previous time. When you're running, you also see the live data showing up there. And then on the side, you're seeing diagnostics or below, or also on the far right, you see seismic noise labeled over here to do with earthquakes. Or the wind can tilt the building enough to make it not work right or produce some noise. Or just anthropogenic noise, people driving to work in the morning, all that sort of thing. Looks pretty good right now. Sometimes you can see all of them who drove out to work and then the end of the day and so on. And then over on the left, there's some things about earthquakes, because big earthquakes can shake the ground hard enough that you can't get it to work, or it's harder to work. So that's my brief explanation. First of all, we have TJ operating today. And maybe TJ, you can just tell it, sort of what's going on right now in the control room.
So right now, I'm trying to reacquire our lock. About 2 hours ago, if you look on that back screen over there, the top left monitor, there is 3 different traces. We have our blue trace, which is the Livingston, their range based in megaparsecs, and then we have the red trace, which is us, and then purple, which is Virgo, the Italian interferometer. So that's just the last 24 hours, looking at our range and our sensitivity. All 3 of these interferometers are still commissioning, so that's why the range is kind of all over the place for right now. Anyway, we lost lock 2 hours ago, and I have to try to reacquire. In the meantime, we have some commissioners that are going out on the floor, making some adjustments to some of the laser tables, and then we have to bring everything back, get everything locked, and essentially in a state where we could potentially be taking data, except we're not going to. We're going to take some more measurements and make the machine a bit more sensitive, hopefully.
And when you say lock, you mean you're trying to sync all 3 of them together, or?
So we're trying to make resonant light within all of our cavities, and so our entire interferometer is nice and resonant, and making sure everything's nice and still and low noise. And from there, we can actually take data and see if there's a difference in our arm lengths.
That's pretty cool.
And so actually, we'll open up for some questions, and there's other people here who maybe can answer them if it's something we don't know about. So yes, there's a question right up front.
The signals that you showed before, relative to this plot here of the sensitivity, where on the plot are the signals? They are all in the below 10 hertz.
This one, so this is in meters on the bird flexes. You see 10 to the minus 20, 19, 10 to the minus 19 meters. So the biggest motion of the mirror in the first signal moved the mirror 10 to the minus 18 meters. And up there at between 10 hertz up to 300 hertz. So the highest, up at near 300 hertz is moving the mirror maybe 10 to the minus 18 meters. This, of course, is actually in this meters per root hertz, so it's a little bit tricky to completely convert it. But the thing is, while that trace was well above the noise curve, because we're looking at hundreds of thousands of templates every 10 milliseconds, we look like a trillion different times at the data to see whether there's anything significant there in just one pipeline of searching, right? A trillion times. So you look at a trillion times, even rare noise events will show up. So you have to be pretty high above the noise to have a significant thing that's loud enough that you actually, you know.
So you're cross-correlating against a theoretical template.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah. So we match filter against templates in some of our searches. We also have, he's asking about what kind of searches we do and how high above the noise it has to be to see it, or where would it have been. We also have unbiased searches looking just for excess power. Did the signal, did the noise, mean value of the noise just suddenly get in a burst kind of thing, just get louder? You're looking for sine Gaussians and things like that. But those are even harder to detect because just listening to the rumbling, you'll hear noisy things in there. So but you're always histogramming against the background how often your foreground signals are above the background. So you're always estimating from statistics how unlikely it would be for that to occur.
So the processing gain against the match filter is what? I mean,
He asked me, it's a data analysis person, I should be able to answer this question. The processing gain against the match filtering. I have to ask you some, I don't think I can answer it directly. I have to ask you a little bit about what you mean by processing gain. I use the term integrated signal to noise ratio is what I usually call it. Integrating, you multiply the Fourier transform of the filter times the Fourier transform of the data, multiply those together, inverse weight with the noise, and integrate and get a number. And you do that for background and foreground.
Okay, your signal is something. You can't see it when you take a look at it because directly because you see the noise. You now have this filter, okay?
Yep.
And you apply the filter to this thing, so the signal is buried underneath the noise someplace.
Yes.
By a certain amount, okay?
Yep.
So the gain to drag it out of the noise is what you're processing.
I see. I'll have to think about what the answer is because it's different for every. It turns out our loudest ones with a little bit of bandpass filtering, you could see them with it by eye. Some of them you can't.
Okay.
Most of them you cannot.
Okay, and it was all in the
That was
range
all-
below 300 hertz.
The ones that we've seen so far are between tens of hertz up to a few hundred hertz for the black holes and up to, well, in gravitational wave frequency, 1,400 hertz in gravitational waves, 700 hertz in orbital frequency. So up to a little bit over 1,000 hertz.
So you'll never have been able to see that.
Okay, we'll talk. Anyway, that's a great question. We'll have to talk some more on the walk back. Other questions? Any other questions?
Do you have much interaction with the geology and seismology groups looking at other parts of the data that you're throwing out?
So the question about geology groups looking at other parts of the data, seismology and things like that, and I know some of those interactions have occurred, but I'm not too aware of exactly everything about that. Anyone else know in here? I know we've given them some of our, we have seismometers here and all that stuff. In fact, we're trying to screen out the seismic noise, so in our actual data, we're trying to keep it out of there, so, but we have good seismometers, it turns out, as well, so I still like to see our seismometer data sometimes. Yeah, great question. Any other questions? Or I want to ask you guys a bunch about nuclear stuff. You guys are you guys, how many people are working on nuclear power generation in spacecraft? And how many are working on propulsion? Right, so propulsion, is that in the works? Like fission rockets?
Yes. Yeah.
It's in the works. So I think we already have nuclear power on, like the one that went past Pluto, I assume we use nuclear power.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
But you got, even on Mars, do you need nuclear power? Because it gets too much windstorms and stuff, so you still have nuclear power. Dust storms. It's an option. Great, so I'm going to tell Mike, any other questions in here? Oh, good, we always get the question, thanks. The green number is GPS time, so we just count the GPS seconds, that just keeps counting up.
Seconds
since
since
1980 or something.
1970.
Doesn't have to worry about time zones or daylight savings time or anything. We use that to track, so we use GPS for our timing down to, GPS I think can go down to nanoseconds, I'm not sure how accurate it is, but we need to get down to tens of microseconds in timing for our detection. We have some kind of atomic clock here as well. I don't know if anyone here knows about the atomic clock. They're all busy. And they're working on very different things from that. Katie, we have an atomic clock. We have atomic clocks here too, don't we? On the timing. Someone's asking about whether we have atomic clocks versus the GPS.
Okay, so the atomic clock, we do have atomic clock, but just for the, the long-term, witness, and our time standard is, really from the GPS clock.
Right. Great. Okay, so we'll go back to the lobby for more talking about things while the other group has a chance to go over here. We're going to go a different way. We're going to go out through the elevator. We're going to turn left and go out through the main front doors.
Yep.
I'm going to see if Mike actually texts. How many people work here?
Active staff here.
30 full-time people here, though. It's run by Caltech and MIT. Yeah. And then there's another 30 people in Louisiana. So the whole project, what's called LIGO Laboratory, is like 150 people. Okay. And then around the world at the universities, there's like 1,000 total people working on it. Yeah.
I mean, that's facilities and all? I mean, or is this just scientists?
It's 100, no, that's for all engineers, operators, everything's like 150 people who run the two observatories. But it's small, it's medium-sized science in that sense. Great. I was just saying, make sure everyone's ready to walk down here. Yeah.
I'm requesting recording. Well, that's the Washington law.
That's right. Nobody objected.
Yeah. Great, thank you very much. Jeff Jones, our site manager. Oh, yes, sure. Okay, cool. So, we'll see what Joe will do. You work there in bar?
It's just more science, just more meetings.
After your coupon testing thing.
Meeting rooms.
That was Bill Hamilton. He had one before Killer. And so did Joe, actually.
I see.
And so did
There's their own group and there's
And their own group. That's from much. And they were all doing Joe Weber was doing. Doing something different.
Is that some sort of academic exercise this spring there? Or does that
It's like
sort of-
school tours.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Just let everyone catch up in here. I'm just seeing if the other Greg is behind us somewhere coming in. Yeah.
Greg.
He's fine. I hope
we're gonna rally up with the other building, and I'm gonna lose network in between. So I'll see you in 15 minutes.